6 or 7 years ago, we became involved with a young person who was in an assessment and treatment unit. We hear about them in the sector abbreviated to ATUs, and his multi-agency team were really struggling with what was in this young person's best interests. This young man's family had spent the last few years consistently fighting services, trying to get the right support for their son, and had almost gotten to a point where they'd lost faith in all of the care providers around them, and understandably so, because this young person had been let down through nobody's fault. The system is just not always designed in the way that it needs to be. But when we became involved, we spent a lot of time getting to know this young person's parents and finding out firsthand from them what this young man needed from a provider, and there was nothing in there that was revolutionary. It was just the little things that ended up being the big things. So what we were able to do was build a really strong working relationship between our support workers, our management team and the family, to make sure that everyone was supporting this young person in the way that he needed to be supported, not in the way that we all thought he should be supported. Discussion, there was talk of, despite this young person being potentially ready to be discharged into their own home, the team were talking about how the only option was to step this person up into a high secure setting because there was just no community capacity. When we got involved, we spoke about how our team would be able to work on the hospital ward to get a really clear picture of what this young person's needs were, because we were convinced that it would be very possible for him to move into his own home. Our team phased onto the ward, built a really strong relationship with this young man, and we're still involved now from time to time. They got to know him inside out, back to front. They got to know his family really well, and after about 6 or 7 months of really intensive positive behaviour support implementation on the ward, we were ready to transition him into his own home. There was a huge amount of coordination that happened around that. There were many discussions around what the property needed to look like, whether any adaptations would be needed. And after all of these years of knowing this young person and him being seen by the professionals around him as someone who is at high risk of readmission to hospital, he's still in his own home, absolutely thriving, and our support is hardly required anymore because he's got a really strong team around him that know him well. So he's the one person that always comes to the front of my mind when asked about the impact we make. One of the things that our team learnt about this young person is that he absolutely loved exercise and physical activity. So when we pulled the team together, we had to make sure that every support worker in his team was able to keep up with him. And over the first few weeks, our support workers were feeding back that they were getting more exercise than they'd ever had in their lives. And now he goes running every day and the team keep up with him. So his well-being has been impacted as well. So I would say that that's something really positive that's come out of this move for this young person, which just couldn't be achieved in a hospital ward. family members members know their loved ones best. And I think that as care providers, as professionals, as commissioners, we always need to keep that at the forefront of our minds. It is critical to involve family members in decision making, in person-centered care planning, and making sure that families feel that they are part of the team too, and that there isn't a separation there. In terms of the support that we provide, we will always invite family members to get involved from the very, very start. It's really important when we're setting up teams, when we're choosing the right people and the right personality matches, that families have a say in that too, because ultimately they know their children, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, brothers, cousins. They know those people best. It's also really important for family members to feel empowered to stand up and advocate for their loved ones. Families living in their own communities are at the heart of all the care that we should be providing as a sector.